Good evening, everybody. This is Sir Jude, and here's the final video lecture for first term in preparation for the sudden online term examination tomorrow. And we're going to tackle the mastery test a while ago, otherwise known as written work 1.5. For the purposes of our discussion today, uh, I will I will spotlight set A, no? So, parehas lang naman yung coverage ng set A tsaka set B. Nirumble ko lang yung placement ng biology at tsaka chemistry questions. Okay? So, let's start with first part, chemical equations. So, given the chemical equation below, wherein 2 moles of solid KClO3 decomposes with it with heat to 2 moles of solid KCl and 3 moles of gaseous O2 with the help of MnO2 catalyst. So what are the 1 reactants, 2 catalysts, and 3 products? Okay, so let's start answering. When we say reactants, these are the reagents found at the left side. So this is KClO3. For the catalysts, these are the reagents found at the top of the arrow. So this is MnO2. And for the products, these are the reagents found at the right side of the arrow. So that means you have two answers. We have KCl and O2. Okay, so that's part one. Let's proceed to part two, law of conservation of mass. Refer to the table below. So the mass, we have NaOH and HCl as our reactants, and we have NaCl and H2O as our products. Okay, so before the reaction, we have 30 grams of NaOH and 20 grams of HCl. And then after the reaction, we have 35 grams of NaCl and we have unknown number of H2O. So for number 4, what is the total mass before and after the reaction? Yan. So when you compare the values of the masses before the reaction and after the reaction, the only complete set of values are found before the reaction. So all you have to do is add 30 plus 20 plus 0 plus 0 grams, and that will give us 50 grams. Some of you kanina, you added pa 35 grams below. So, some of you forgot is that the total mass before the reaction, which is 50 grams, is just the same as the mass after the reaction, which is 50 grams. Some of you then, no, added both 50 grams. Kaya, I mark it incorrect. Kaya, the correct answer for number 4 is simply 50 grams. Okay. Number 5, what is the mass of H2O after the reaction? So, by this point, NaOH and HCl no longer exists. And what you're left with is 35 grams, unknown mass of H2O, and the total mass is 50 grams. So, to compute for the mass of H2O, all you have to do is subtract 50 grams, the total mass, and the mass of NaCl, which is 35 grams, giving you 15 grams. Okay? Next, number 6. So, which reagents appeared and disappeared after the reaction? When we say appeared, they started from nothing and they ended up with something. So, you start with 0 and you end up with 35 for NaCl. And you started with 0 and you ended up with 15 grams for H2O. Therefore, the reagents that appeared were NaCl and H2O. And that automatically means that NaOH and HCl are the reagents that disappeared because they started with from 30 grams and 20 grams respectively, and both ended up with nothing. Okay, so that's law of conservation of mass for you, wherein the mass of the total mass of the reaction before is equivalent to the total mass of the reaction after. Okay, next. Part 3, types of chemical equation. Determine the type of each chemical equation below. So let's start with number 8. So you have B boron plus I2 forming Bi3. This is combination. Okay. Next, you have PH3 dissociating to P4 and H2. So magkasama and then ang end naghiwalay. So this is decomposition. Okay. Next, you have C8H8, a hydrocarbon, burning with oxygen gas, forming carbon dioxide gas and water vapor. This is combustion. Next, you have Mg stealing iodine from Fe, leaving Fe alone and Mg paired with I. Therefore, this is single replacement. And finally, you have FeBr3 reacting with NaOH, forming FeOH3 plus NaBr. So they change partners, meaning number 12 is double displacement. Now, number 4. When counting polyatomic ions enclosed in parentheses, you count the number written outside the parentheses. So given the chemical equation below, we have solid aluminum plus aqueous H2SO4 forming aqueous Al2SO43 and H2. How many SO4 groups are there in the reactant side and the product side? So I didn't ask you to balance the chemical equation. What I asked you instead is to count the number of SO4 groups. On the left side, SO4 here doesn't have any parentheses, therefore automatically the answer is 1. While on the right side, the SO4 here has number 3 outside the parentheses, therefore the answer is 3. Okay, next. A teacher asks Shauna to balance a combustion reaction below. She has trouble counting the total number of oxygen atoms on the product side. Number 15. What is the total number of oxygen atoms in 9CO2 and 10H2O? Again, I didn't ask you to balance the equation completely. I just asked you to count the number of oxygen atoms on the right side of the equation. So what you do is you multiply 9 by 2. So this is 18. And you add it with 10 times 1. So 10, giving you 28. Okay, that's all for balancing chemical equations. Let's proceed to the last topic for chemistry, which is endothermic and exothermic reactions. Okay, we have two examples here, a hot pack, instant hot pack on the left side, and instant cold pack on the right side. Okay, so let's compare the potential energies of the reactants and the products in each reaction progress. For number 16, the one with the instant hot pack, we recognize that the energy of the, always start with products. Energy of the products is less than the energy of the reactants. Therefore, the answer is less than. Okay. And here you have two athletes, Thaisa and Natalie, who sustained injuries after training. For Thaisa's case, she placed the hot pack near her sore muscle. The chemicals inside the hot pack discharge heat. Did the hot pack absorb or release heat? So if you feel heat, because the object really discharges it from you, therefore the answer here is release. And when we say heat, when you release heat, the reaction is automatically exothermic because you feel the heat, right? On the other hand, so uh, the one with the instant cold pack, the energy of the products is higher than the energy of the reactants. Therefore, the answer is greater than. For Natalie's case, Natalie placed the cold pack on her swollen knee. The ammonium nitrate and water in the cold pack take in the heat from her knee. Did the cold pack absorb or release heat? This time, since the cold pack take in the heat from her knee, therefore the answer is absorb. And that means the reaction is endothermic. Okay. Next, did the presence of the catalyst in both reactions decrease or increase the activation energy? So uncatalyzed curves are color red, while catalyzed curves are color blue. So the presence of the catalyst is marked by the color blue curve, and the color blue curve is lower than the red curve. Therefore, the answer here is decrease. Okay, so these are the chemistry topics for you. let's proceed to the second part of our exam, which is the biology topics. Okay, so feedback mechanisms. Study the processes involved when a person experiences an adrenaline rush. Okay, so here we have two instances before a threat. So no threat, adrenal gland is inactive, adrenal levels in the bloodstream decreases. So does this process exhibit a positive or a negative feedback mechanism and why? While during a threat occurs, adrenal gland releases adrenaline, adrenal levels in the bloodstream increases. So does that process also exhibit a positive or a negative feedback mechanism and then why? So before the threat, the process exhibits a negative feedback mechanism because the adrenaline levels below the bloodstream, by the way, these two instances are connected together, no? So yeah. And when everything is in normal condition, no, our adrenal gland, even if it is inactive, it is regulating our body para yung adrenal levels natin sa bloodstream natin ay bumalik sa normal. So, remember, for negative feedback mechanism, it is homeostasis, okay, returns everything to normal levels. Or it can be, it contradicts the stimulus. Okay. Now, for 25, during a threat, this one is positive feedback mechanism. Okay. Because the threat triggers the adrenal gland to release adrenaline, which causes adrenaline rush. Kaya sometimes when we are too stressed or panic, no, especially during emergency or urgent situations, we tend to be stronger or more energetic. And that's positive feedback mechanism because you amplify the stimulus. Okay. Part 7, we have homeostasis. Read the scenario and accomplish the tasks below. Okay, baba ko lang sandali. Okay, part 7. So, Misty performs a series of warm-up exercises before gradually actually playing her favorite sport, badminton. A nurse examines her body temperature, blood glucose, and blood pressure after she overexhausts herself. So, normal levels natin for body temperature ay between 36.5 to 37.5 degrees Celsius, while for Misty's, it's 38.3 degrees Celsius. Therefore, this is high. For the blood glucose, the normal levels are between 70 to 110 milligrams per deciliter, and Mrs. Status is 55 milligrams per deciliter, meaning her blood glucose is low. Then, the normal blood pressure is between 90 over 60 to 120 over 90 millimeter mercury, while for Misty's, it's 140 over 100 millimeter mercury. Therefore, in her case, it's high. So she has high body temperature, low blood glucose levels, and high blood pressure. So Misty begins to sweat, cooling down her body. Will her body temperature decrease or increase? So sweating contradicts uh, the increase in body temperature. So it cools down her body. So once it cools down the body temperature decreases. Her pancreas releases glucagon, forcing her liver and skeletal muscles to release blood sugar into her bloodstream. Will her blood glucose decrease or increase in the bloodstream? So because nag-release si liver and skeletal muscles ng blood sugar sa bloodstream, therefore blood glucose increases or will increase. Okay? Number 32, her blood vessels widen and her heart rate slows down. Will her blood pressure decrease or increase? So, nagsimula mag-wide ang lumawak ang kanyang blood vessels and then ultimately after rest, no, her heart rate slows down, therefore her blood pressure will decrease. Notice that the answers in 27 to 29 contradict the answers in 30 to 32. So the entire process for homeostasis is one big negative feedback mechanism. So, high ang body temperature niya, and then ang sweating will cool it down. So, bababa si body temperature. Low ang kanyang blood glucose, and then her pancreas releases glucagon. Maglalabas ng blood sugar sa bloodstream niya, therefore, blood glucose increases. Okay? Ang high blood siya, and then eventually her heart rate will slow down, so therefore her blood pressure will decrease. So, nag-start with high, low, high, and ang ending is decrease, increase, and then decrease. So, opposite of the initial stimulus, which is a manifestation of negative feedback mechanism. All right. Next is part 8, evidence of evolution. Analyze the two sets of limb structures below. Okay. So on the first set, we have lizard arm for digging, bird wing for flying, human arm for, lizard leg for digging, lizard arm, okay, for digging, bird wing for flying, human's arm for grasping, and then whale's flipper for swimming. And then on the second set, you have whale flipper, turtle, like hands, okay? So fish's fin and then penguin's wing, all of them are used for swimming. So are the first set of limbs homologous or analogous structures, no? So for the first set of limbs, they have different functions. Okay? Kaya they are considered homologous. No? Kung di man kayo sure sa structure, the best way to compare is if their functions are the same or the different. Okay? Now, for the second set of structures, all of them are used for swimming. Therefore, they have the same functions. Making the second set of limbs analogous. Alright? So, millions of years ago, humans' appendix used to digest raw plant bark. Nowadays, it no longer has any significant function as humans prefer to eat cooked food. Why is the appendix considered a vestigial structure? When we say vestigial structure, these are structures that are functional before. So, they were functional before, but they have insignificant functions nowadays. Ayan. Sorry kung nag-overlap na po sa ating question. No? So dati may function sila, and as we no longer rely on it because as humans evolved, so did our eating habits and our digestion. Kaya si appendix, hindi na rin masyadong nagagamit. So nandyan lang, pero wala nang masyadong function, kaya vestigial. Okay, so last part of our review. So we have theories of evolution. Determine the theory of evolution, adaptation, competition, heredity, isolation, natural selection, and variation applied in each event, detailing the domination of ducks' webbed feet, which they use for swimming. So when we say ducks' webbed feet, magkakadikit yung claws ng mga ducks. Unlike sa ating mga tao, when we spread our fingers, magkakahiwalay sila. But for ducks, no, meron silang webbing and they use it for swimming. Kaya when you put them in water, they don't immediately fall and they can float. Okay? So for number 38, ducks with separated claws, okay, and web feet coexisted in a river. So you have two species of ducks here, the one with separated claws and the one with web feet. So therefore, you have the same species, but they have different traits. So this is variation. 39, ducks with separated claws and webbed feet birthed ducks with separated claws and webbed feet respectively. Kung separated ang claws ng ancestor, separated claws din ang offspring. Kung webbed feet ang feet ng ancestor, webbed feet din ang offspring. So may passing of traits from the ancestor to the offspring, therefore this is heredity. 40. A large mountain range separated a population of ducks from the others. So nagkaroon po ng isolation because of a physical barrier. For 41, over time, ducks with wider webbed feet became better at swimming, finding food in water, and walking on muddy ground. So at this point, now we highlight the strengths of our bida, no, of our ultimate winner. And this one is adaptation. because they possess the characteristics that are inherently advantageous to their environment. Sila therefore ay mas nakaka-adapt. Okay? Next, 42. As more ducks lived in the area, food such as seeds, plants, and insects became limited, so they had to fight for food. And so once they start fighting, competition ensues. And lastly, and finally, ducks with webbed feet dominated their species. They ultimately won over ducks with separated claws, especially if they fight at the river, no? Because malulunod po yung mga ducks with separated claws. Only a few of them will survive, while the ducks with webbed feet will become triumphant and victorious. So therefore, they are number 43 exhibits natural selection. They won and eventually dominated their species. Okay, so here's the reviewer for tomorrow's first term examination. Alam kong pagod na kayo and everything within this week is super rush. Okay? And sana wag magkakaroon ng aberya bukas sa paggamit ng tablets. And if you have any questions, you may consult me anytime. Please take time to review because the questions here will be parallel. Not exactly the same, but parallel to your first term examination tomorrow. Okay? So, find the topics na nahihirapan kayo o nalilito kayo. And if you think confident na kayo, sa tingin nyo, sampang parts yung medyo, medyo tricky pa for you. Okay? And then don't forget to rest as well. So in the meantime, this is Sir Jude. Good afternoon, goodbye, and good luck.